Microphone, video. Hi, Lynn. Hi, Jerry.
Hi, Ronnie. Hi, Jerry.
Adjusting
How's it
my
going?
adjusting my audio down just a little bit. Okay, we'll wait for Kathleen
Need
to
to have a
join us.
light in the background. It's not good.
So the recording has started, but that's okay. We'll still wait for Kathleen. And I am going to share the agenda.
There it goes. Hi,
Hi, Kathleen.
how's everyone?
Hi.
Hey,
Sorry, I kept talking to this computer.
We do that as if they were listening to us.
just like cats or
Yep.
dogs. Yep.
They're not going to pay any attention.
So,
Yep.
how is everyone?
Okay.
So far, so good.
Catching up after the holidays, right?
Yes.
Oh man,
Trying to.
did you have a
Yeah.
good holiday?
Yeah, it was great. I actually relaxed pretty much the entire time, so it was
Excellent.
nice. It was a well-needed break, I think.
Excellent.
Been a little bit chaotic this past few months.
Yeah,
I mean, it's just all in the rearview mirror. It's just hard to believe Christmas and New Year's are gone by and
yeah.
off we go.
Yeah, and I someone reminded me that my second year, I'll have been in my role for about 2 years now, which is insane to me.
Seems like it was yesterday, right?
Yeah, and I was like, "Are you sure I've been here for almost 2 years? I feel like I was here like 1 year ago."
Yeah, it goes. It
We don't notice the time passing day to day. It's just when we look back and realize how much has gone by.
yes.
And it goes faster and faster the older you get.
No kidding.
Okay, I'm waiting for my Fathom to start. Okay. The problem with there we go. I've got this with the I apologize with the new Zoom workplace.
Oh,
I have to move a lot of different uh, elements, Zoom elements out of the way. Okay, let's see. Are you seeing
We can
my
see.
the
we can see
agenda?
the agenda.
Okay, I am
Yep.
not seeing it is the problem.
Oh,
Hang on, I think it's just a matter of my view setting.
you can read it to you.
We can see PE6, PE7, first two part of the first two bullets.
Let me
Oh
see.
wait, I can't see. Hold up.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. I've got it now, so I can see it too.
Oh, here we go. Okay, I got it.
All right. So the first thing I wanted to talk about was that Jerry's has a conflict with this meeting date and on for the CSC task force, and so we need to look at a potential new time.
That's fine with me because my Thursdays are going to be, I'm always going to have something starting around 6:15. I'm going to have to leave, or 6.
And
So, Jerry and Ronnie, what are your constraints?
Oh, in terms of like a regular time meeting?
Yeah.
I can't do every third Tuesday. I now can't do every third Thursday. And I don't think I could do every first or second Wednesday. And I think those are my reoccurring meetings.
And time-wise, 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 4:30.
Oh, I have no time constraints there.
I'm sorry.
What about the last Wednesday of the month?
That would work for me. I'm not sure if it would work for everyone else, but I don't have I can work past my hours. This is
Uh-huh.
I just move my time around according to whatever you guys need. So
I'm checking for last Wednesday conflicts. I don't seem to have any uh, for that. Now that's not we're not going to say the fourth Wednesday because we might have a fifth Wednesday. We're going to say the last Wednesday.
okay.
I'm just scrolling forward for a few months to see if I've got anything that's going to come up. I don't think so. That looks like a pretty good time for me. Okay, so I'll type it in and we can,
So our next, would that be February 12th? Oh, no, that's not the last Wednesday. What am I thinking? It would be the
26.
26th.
Yep.
Okay.
yeah, we'll see. That's
And
correct.
are we keeping it this, because there are other, let's see.
Village doesn't have any meetings on Wednesdays in the
Not
evening
usually,
anyway.
no.
So are we keeping it at 5?
I'd like that hour because if we do an hour meeting, we're done by dinner time. And if anyone has an evening commitment, that gives us time to go do it, like a concert or something else.
Would 4 work or 4:30?
I
It'd be
can do
fine
either
with
of
me.
those two. Yeah.
I can
Four,
do 4.
I can do four also.
I can do 4.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that would
Yeah,
work.
that makes us feel a little less pinched, I think.
Okay, I'm just gonna, I normally say four, I give
4 to
give us
5.
about an hour and a half. I
Okay.
try to keep it within an hour, but sometimes if we have enough topics, we will we'll set it for an hour and a half, but
Uh-huh.
we'll try to stick to 1 hour. But there are going to be times when we go over. So just to set up a time slot, and that way we're again, Lynn, we're finished before dinner time.
This is good.
Okay.
It's better.
Yeah, thank you for accommodating me.
That's
Sure.
that's fine. We normally try to do this once a year anyway, just to kind of
Yeah.
make sure things haven't, with everyone's schedule changing, you just never know what's going to happen. Okay, so I will assign that to me because I have to change the Zoom meeting times, the invitations, and then they will be not just on my calendar, but also within the Zoom platform, so that the meetings we'll be able to start the meetings for those dates too.
Okay.
And let me just say, note, calendar. That's just a reminder. Okay, so we'll kind of set through all of these agenda items. The planning infrastructure for bicycling and walking. There's no change. Everything from our last presentation on the status from the contractor who is coordinating this. We're still on schedule for completion in mid this year. And I don't see anything that would delay that. They're making pretty good progress. And so that the website is currently up and running, and it's being populated with information as it's formally completed and approved by the participants. And then you might, if you look at something, it might say draft, or it might not be there until everything is completed and they release it to the website. So that's in progress. We were talking about evaluating the policies for our climate resilience action. And this is just a note that Jerry's going to be working. Do I have these reverse transition to CSD and out of C?
So actually,
I think I
but
got the
yeah,
reverse.
this has been an interesting situation. So last year, towards the end of the year, they needed me to prioritize CEC, so I moved into that role.
Okay.
But actually, I think I sent you an email recently, Ronnie, saying that I'm
Yes.
actually restarting CSC work, and
Okay.
I have good and bad news for the certification that I can share. I don't know if you want me to do that now or later. Um,
Yeah,
No.
yeah, no, now it's fine. Yeah.
okay. So I will be returning to my CSC responsibilities under like a flexible funding. Um, we're still trying to figure out the contracts right now, with the state. There's some situations going on that we need to resolve, to get funded again. But for the time being, I'm funded under a different, source.
Okay.
So I'll be returning to those responsibilities. I would like to propose holding off on the resiliency work for certification for bronze. I think I did the math and I've gone through the application portal to review all our documents. I believe we could get there by the next deadline, which is in April. So the good news is that I see a way to get bronze very quickly. It's going to require a little bit of hustling for documentation. Um, the bad news is there's a bit of there was some updates to the climate smart actions. And so some of the documentations has changed a little bit in terms of requirements. So it's not a ton of extra work. I will be reaching out, or I can go over what specifically I need from you guys.
It
Um,
might be better to do that within an email. So
okay.
we would have a
So
checklist.
yeah, so I have an Excel sheet that I made that has comments that I can translate into like a checklist of things I need from you guys.
Okay.
I would be more than happy, since I'm back in my role fully, to take on some of the uploading and documentation. I'm just going to be asking for, for instance, I'll just need the task force minutes, like from the two most recent meetings. Um, there
Okay.
might be one or two resolutions that I might ask you to see if it's possible to pass.
Okay.
For instance, one of them is pretty quick and straightforward. Because the resolution for CSC coordinator was done a few years ago and it didn't list the specific responsibilities of the CSC coordinator, we might just want to have a revision of it to say that you're still the coordinator and you're doing these responsibilities.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I can put that all into an email and or some like a Word document so that we can have a checklist of things.
Yeah, yeah. Either or.
Yeah.
Whatever's easiest for you to do, and then
Mhm.
just copy all of us,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
we can start trying to check those off.
Okay.
All right.
And then I have one more quick note in regards to an event that I'll be doing. So CC Tompkins last year hosted something on Earth around Earth Day called Earth Fest or Earth Festival. We had a bunch of people table, so we had about 30 organizations that tabled. I'm not sure if we're going to ask municipalities specifically to table, but I do think that the CSC work that we're doing could play a role in that. And what I've been planning is something called a repair cafe. So I don't, do you guys know what a repair cafe is?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Yep.
I'm not sure I do.
So a repair cafe is essentially just a place or like some place that someone hosts where people with broken items can come in and fix it for free so that they don't throw it out and create more waste.
Jerry, did you happen to go up to the Fixers Collective on a Saturday about a week
Yes,
ago?
I did. Did I see
Yeah.
you there and did I not recognize you?
Well, I don't go there.
Okay.
But my neighbor Bruce Johnson is one of the prime
Oh,
movers, and he talked about. He said he met you.
yeah, yeah, Bruce.
Yes,
I met Bruce and I was trying to learn a little bit about how they were
right. So if
hosting theirs.
I would say that it would be really great to connect with those guys. They're all really quirky, but they're all smart as all get out. I mean, they're just
Oh,
brilliant.
yeah,
But
they were lovely when I was there.
they're
I,
great. And I mean, they all have different expertise in different areas for repair. And they've been working together now for several years. And these guys know what they're doing. And if you're going to do a repair cafe, it'd be great to start maybe with inviting those guys to come if they would.
yeah, so
There are
I
plenty of
already
other
did.
people that would do this.
Mhm.
There are repair cafes all up and down the Hudson Valley. And in fact, I think that's actually a trademark term,
Mhm.
repair cafes. But, you know, we just call it the Fixers Collective. I've been involved with the Reuse Center for a long time.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's a great place to get started is with those guys.
Mhm. Yeah, no, so I've already reached out.
Good.
We were going to invite them, and we did invite them.
Uh-huh.
The major concern that Bruce had would be the logistics of having a repair cafe out in the open on like the commons where it might be really crowded is going to be difficult.
It is. And
Yeah.
then they all have tools, and a lot of
Yep.
them have to be power tools.
Mm.
So, if you're going to do electrical testing and that kind of stuff, that's going to be kind of out of the question.
Yeah. So instead, what we'll be doing is we'll be hosting a quote unquote themed repair cafe. And so we'll be
Yeah.
focusing on mending clothing and
Yep.
fixing clothing. So
That's great.
yeah, I'm talking to someone tomorrow. But if the Village of Lansing would like to kind of participate in the promotion of the event
Sure.
as well as maybe trying to find people who would be adepts at fixing clothes or repairing some sort of something that we wear, like shoes.
Yeah.
That would be great.
I wish I'd gone last Saturday at the Black Sheep Spinners Guild. They have their annual Rock Day,
Mhm.
which is the day when all the spinners are allowed to go back to work after Christmas. It's a very old tradition. There was a woman there leading a workshop on visible repair, and I don't know who that was, but I can try and find out. She might be somebody you might want to invite, because visible repair is, taking a pair of blue jeans with a huge hole in the knee and putting a patch on it that you can see, not
Mhm.
trying to hide the repair,
Yeah.
and being really creative about it.
Yeah. I'm talking to someone named Katrine or Katrin tomorrow,
Yeah,
who does mending workshops.
great.
So we'll be
It sounds
finding.
like you're well connected.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm not it's originally I was kind of on the fence about stuff, but it's looking more like it's doable.
Uh-huh.
So we'll be moving forward with this and this is a climate smart action. It can be tied to two actions to get credit.
Uh-huh.
We would have to host the second one at some point, but if the village would like to, I quote unquote sponsor, you guys don't have to pay into anything. We're just saying sponsored as in collaborated on with. If you guys just help with the promotion and stuff, that'd be great.
Sure. The the Finger Lakes Reuse has a revolving, I mean, a slideshow of just photos that they used at one of our New York State Association for Reuse and Recycling conferences a couple of years ago at the trade show. And they had a whole booth on repair cafes. And they featured one of the efforts that was featured was the one at Finger Lakes Reuse, the Fixers Collective. And if you wanted to have, say, like a computer there with a screen large enough to show those slides, that slideshow could be running to show what a fixer's event would look like that's doing stuff with tools.
Yeah, and I might see if Bruce would like to maybe volunteer an hour or so just to talk to people who are interested.
Oh, I'm sure he would.
Yeah, that would be a great way to get some people in. But I don't know about a computer. I'll have to figure out the logistics
Yeah,
because
I don't know if that would work. I mean, you'd have to have a computer that was charged up, and because plugging stuff in on the commons is a real pain in the butt. I've tried it, with paper making, it's been really hard to do.
Well, okay, what would the village cooperating or participating in this involve, Jerry?
If you have any personal connections or if you have any platforms for sharing information, it would be great for us to get some contacts for people who know how to mend clothing.
Okay.
Or cobbling, which is repairing shoes.
Cobbling,
I will. So you don't have to come up with any of the promotion materials. Once I've gotten more of that figured out, I'm gonna have our communications person design some sort of announcement as well as like flyers and stuff to put up. If you guys would be willing to just put up a flyer maybe at the town hall or like or
Yeah.
share it on whatever social media platforms or the website, that'd be great. Yeah. Any of that would be great.
Jerry, I can reach out to the quilters people. We have a quilting project going on at the Reuse Center every Sunday afternoon with donated fabric. It's all part of the reuse system. And those people are all connected to folks who do repair and clothing alterations, that kind of stuff, who even have businesses doing it. So I'll reach out and see who I can find through that.
Yeah.
And then just
that'd be
send you
great.
the information.
Yeah, thank you.
And the person you have is named Katrina?
Katrin or Katrine. I don't really know how to
Okay,
pronounce it yet, but
Catherine.
I'm gonna
All
ask
right.
tomorrow. Yeah,
Okay.
I'll be reaching out specifically to the tailor shops as well, in case they would like to, have their name out there when they
Uh-huh.
volunteer. So,
Yeah, the
I'll
person
be.
that I know who does this is Margaret, and I think she actually has a studio on the Commons.
Is it So Green or is it
No, it's not so green. Her name's Margaret, and she's doing alterations on her own.
okay?
Uh, but she might be willing to. I'll let me just see what I can find out. I know that there are some people who are doing things like visible repair or clothing repair, show you how to fix a sweater, show you how to fix, stuff that you might get rid of. And if you can fix it, you keep it.
Mhm.
Do you know approximately when this repair cafe will be held, Jerry?
April 19th is the tentative but almost fully confirmed date right now.
Okay, April 19th.
And we're on the Commons.
The entire Commons will be blocked off for Earthfest.
Oh, great. So
Yeah,
it's
so
really kind of
And
a birthday.
rain date?
uh no rain date at the moment. But I will let you know as soon as that is updated. We're still in the initial stages of planning. But I wanted to get as
Okay,
much behind as possible. So this
So
is
would you need a resolution from the village to co-sponsor the event?
nope. But there is a waste reduction action that will require a resolution. That we can. I have a template already that
Mhm.
another village or town recently just passed. So
Yeah.
it's as easy as putting your name on it and just agreeing with it. It's just saying that we care about waste reduction because it contributes to greenhouse gas emissions. We would like to host an event here or there and collaborate with other communities on this, and that's all it says.
Okay,
That's good. Yeah.
whenever there are opportunities.
Yeah, basically. So it's not you're not committing to doing anything specifically. You're just saying that you agree with this and that you will try to do the work.
Okay,
Oh, perfect.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
So I will actually send that along because we'll need to update a resolution for the CSC coordinator as well. So I'll put out all this information into either a document or an email for you guys to easily see.
Oh,
So I guess for now, don't worry about it, but I just want to keep it on the radar that there is work to be done to get to bronze, but I think that it's doable by the April deadline.
Okay.
but just because we have the Fixers Collective takes place in the village
Yep,
every Saturday afternoon.
this
Can
is
we
correct.
take credit for that?
You absolutely can.
But we just have to promote it.
Yep, absolutely. And it would be, and you already are personally connected with Bruce, and it's so
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't think that it would be a big
Yeah,
issue.
he's my friend and neighbor. He lives right down below me. I see him all the time.
Yeah, so that
Yeah,
that would work.
All right.
we can promote that on our village website under our news headlines, and we could also do a small article within our upcoming, I think usually it's around the 1st of April, newsletter.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
and
if you would put together a short write-up, Lynn, about those cafes, or I guess sessions or whatever, then we could work on it and put it up on the website, and then also put it in the newsletter.
Mhm.
It's no hurry, because I think that's not until the 1st of April, so that you could probably write something pretty quickly. A paragraph would be enough.
We
Or-
could also provide a link to the Finger Lakes Reuse Center, and people can find out about the Fixers Collective that way.
Mhm.
I'm
Not
not. So I would caution that just because haven't seen the Fixers Collective on the website. So I'll have to double
Oh,
check,
okay.
but
It might not be. It might not be. It might just be described on the website and not actually a way to get to it. But you
oh,
can
never
learn.
mind. It is. I lied. I'm sorry.
I figured that it was there just to let people know when it happens and what they do.
Yeah, here, let me
But
drop that link in the chat for you.
okay, there you
and
go.
a copy of the flyer would be great. We can put that up too, just on the door of the village and in the
Yeah.
community room.
Yeah, we can actually provide flyers within the foyer
Mhm.
of the village hall.
And if you need volunteers, I would volunteer.
That
I
would
do
be
know how to
great. Yeah.
sew.
Me too. Me too. I love fixing things.
Absolutely. And
Mhm.
this is I mean, this will probably be a reoccurring event. This is just we're testing it out, testing the waters out because
I think that's great.
yeah, a lot of Western Tompkins municipalities and communities actually are very interested in this work, and we're trying to see as what we can get out there.
Good.
Sorry, a lot of updates, but we're getting back into it, so I've been trying to catch up on all the communications.
Right. Okay, we'll move on to
Moving on.
heat emergency plan. I know that Kathy, you provided a link. Have you been able to put together any documentation that we could provide to the CSC documentation website?
On a heat emergency, the only thing would have been the shade structure.
So have you, I
It
guess
hasn't been put on the agenda yet.
has the, have Jerry, do you know if Kathleen or Lynn have the ability to submit documentation to the CSC website now?
I sent out an invitation email. You guys are gonna have to make an account, and once you make the account, then you can let me know, and I can invite you again and just add you right in as you log in.
Could you do a tutorial at some point? I actually, it says welcome. I did see the invitation.
Yeah.
I actually called the state because I
Oh.
was having trouble.
No, you're fine. Next time, please reach out to me first. This is my job to also provide technical
Okay,
support. So
thank you.
yeah, no, absolutely. If you have any technical questions with the website, please let me know. I can do all of that.
Oh, good. Thank you.
This is the CSC website, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And you two should have received an email with the one that we usually communicate on about signing up for a website.
Okay.
Oh,
I'll go back.
so it was the Cornell Cooperative Extension website?
No,
No, it's the
the
state.
Climate Smart Communities website. I sent it out through their system that says
Right.
you are welcome to I guess collaborate, or you've been invited to
Okay.
uh
The phone number for help
so
didn't
why
work.
yeah. So why don't I can resend it out to make sure you guys get it a second time.
Okay.
And we can do that. But for the heat emergency plan, I believe we agreed that this might have been too much work, right? Or was this the one that we had one point that we could have gotten for pointing people to resources?
Mhm.
Oh, gosh. I am looking to see where that portal is.
Yeah, let me send that out again real quick.
Okay, I'm finding the invitation, but I'm not seeing the portal. A link to the portal, rather.
Okay.
Was it one that you sent like early January on the 6th?
It might have been, but this is the website to the login, and then I am adding you guys to the actual users list right now. So
Okay.
give me a second. I'm using the emails that Ronnie sends that sends you information through.
Yeah, I see it. Okay,
Oh, here we go. And
I
then
just went to it.
give me 1 second. It says you guys both made accounts, I believe. Nope. So Kathleen, you're on as a contributor now.
Oh, I
And
am. Okay.
yep.
I did it right.
Yes, you're on now. So I had to add you a second time after you made an account.
Okay.
And it says, Lynn, are you using the LynnBird58 Gmail?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
I am. And I'm on the website now, and I'm looking to see where I would, it says sign in. Is that what I need to do, is to create an account for myself?
Yes.
You know, a password and whatnot. Oh,
Yeah.
goody, another password.
Mm.
Okay, I'll do that. I won't do it right now, though. Right.
Right. And let me double check heat emergency plan because I believe this was the one where you had to come up with a very elaborate planning document in order to get credit for.
Right.
Okay. And we were going to basically just piggyback onto the whole health department's heat emergency plan.
Right.
To say that, we, as a village, this is beyond our scope, but we do use the health department's heat emergency plan.
Hmm.
And we also have the siren
Yeah.
alert system.
And we may have some cooling centers designated within the village,
Hmm.
such as the mall.
Yeah, there
Yeah,
are
there
some
were only
cooling
2.
centers. Yeah, I think it's either the state and or the county have at least one cooling center listed
Yeah.
within the website, the state website.
The state health department had the mall and the YMCA listed.
Right.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah, the DEC is very particular about what you do in an action to receive credit, and I don't think that would provide enough
Yeah.
for them to receive credit. So what I'm seeing right now is that you have to submit a copy of a heat emergency plan and documentation of communications and outreach material. Additionally, you would have to provide documentation that the plan has been adopted by local elected officials and been developed or updated within the past 5 years.
It just seems to me like we're duplicating the effort the county's already making. I mean,
Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
that's okay for us not to pursue it.
Right.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine if we didn't want to pursue that. But I don't think we would receive credit from the state for
Okay.
providing
it.
loans for that.
Sure.
We would be better off, if this is important that we think information that we think should be out there, we should post it where we can and maybe have signage if we wanted to.
Yeah, at the very least, I think we've agreed that we should have stuff on our website on what to do in a heat emergency, because that's information that the county already has. It's a page on their health department website. And I think the state was it Department of Health? I've forgotten. It's been a while since I visited those websites. Kathy, you probably already did this. I feel like we've both done it, at slightly different times, but looked at their website for the information that they have of what to do in the case of a heat emergency, the basic steps.
Yeah, basically the local health department had the link to the state health department for the heat.
It's all the same information.
Yeah.
Right. But not everybody, that's the thing. A lot of elderly people may not have internet. They may not have a cell phone. They might not have a computer. And so they were looking at, I think the county did a survey of vulnerable populations. Am I right? And the vulnerable populations are the elderly living in senior living facilities like nursing homes and that kind of thing, of which we don't really have much in the village. I don't think we have any nursing homes in the village. We certainly have seniors living in the village, but I don't think they're all clustered together the way they might be at a senior facility.
Okay, so I just made a note of that here, so we can pull this off of our list. Okay, so Kathleen and Lynn, if you would create your accounts for when you can provide documentation to the website. It's fairly straightforward once you quickly read what the documentation requirements are within the documentation around the action item, and then the step that you can provide a short description. You basically then upload documentation from the village and title it and then upload it. And then the last step you have to do is, the next step is there's a status pull down that you have to mark completed, but the completed means that we've documented it within the system, and then save that, and it goes up. And I think once we get to we're at 100 points now, but once we get to 122 or beyond at their next cycle, then they will start evaluating our documentation. Isn't that correct, Jerry?
Yeah, yep.
Okay.
And I can do a tutorial. It doesn't take me very long. I can do a quick tutorial whenever you guys need it.
Okay.
Kathleen, you should have access to the village's application now. And the other way to do this is what you can do is you can send me the documentation and I can actually just straight upload it for you.
Ah,
Yeah, I'd rather do that.
that
If that
sounds
is
easier.
easier, yeah,
A
I can
lot.
definitely take that on. I have more capacity now since I'm moving back
Right.
to my role.
I will do that.
Yeah, that let's just do that. It'll make everything easier. Yeah.
Yeah, and Kathy, I don't want to duplicate your efforts on the heat emergency stuff that you've already looked at, documented. So maybe one of us doing it, not both of us, would make more sense.
Well, for the heat emergency plan, it doesn't sound like
Heat
we
emergency,
would be
right.
doing that anyway.
No. Right.
Okay. I will move on to the next one, shade structures. You drafted, Kathleen, you drafted a resolution, but it has not been added to the agenda. If you would request that from Jody to put that on the agenda, maybe for our next meeting will be February 3rd. And just if it's ready, just as you can submit the resolution to Jody and say, please put this on the February 3rd agenda for discussion.
And
And
what,
So we had agreed on that, and then does that meet the requirements though, Jerry? Because I think you had some comments that maybe it wasn't quite complete. It's just a resolution without the policies, and then I threw in a few policies from the two examples you gave.
Yes, I believe that I had I thought it was fine, yeah. And the documentation for this for what to submit is just a copy of the policy requiring that development projects on municipally owned properties integrate shaded structures, which it sounds like it already does. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Yeah. So as soon as that policy is passed, I believe that's the only requirement for this.
Okay, it's actually a resolution.
Yeah, a resolution should be fine.
oh, okay.
Okay.
All right.
is there any chance that a shade structure would be erected on a public space?
Oh, we could put a shade structure in a public park.
Okay, okay. I mean, we
Uh,
have a couple of them up already.
Yes.
I mean, in Dankert Park and Ned Hickey Park, right?
Well, we have
They're picnic
pavilions.
pavilions.
Yeah,
They're-
we have pavilions in Dankert Park, Harts Hill Park,
and
and
Hart
Ned
Hill,
Hickey
right?
Park.
Yeah,
And so, future parks where there's space, we would also put up another shade pavilion
right.
or a pavilion or a shade structure. We
Okay.
could.
And trees are also considered a
Yes.
natural
Yep.
structure, so
Right.
that's included.
Yeah.
They're the best
They're the
shade
best,
structures because
absolutely.
they also provide cooling,
Yeah, and
which
oxygen.
ordinary shade doesn't do.
So under heat, it covers
Yeah.
a lot of things.
Right.
Heat, water, everything.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what action this next one is. Oh, okay, that's right. This category covers the pledge elements below it. The fact that we've been part of the Cayuga Lake Watershed Intermunicipal Organization, and we needed to explore the policies and codes related to these. The riparian buffers, Kathleen, you were going to check on getting some documentation.
Yeah.
There isn't a PDF here, so we would just need to write up, submit that to the CSC documentation system with a copy of this document, and just say that, that we have been a member of the QIO for X number of years. I can probably find that you're basically since it began, Lynn knows.
Yeah, right. Yep.
For
So
decades.
So what I did was I gave you guys sort of a draft brain dump because I went through just pulling together the watershed restoration plan, the water quality strategy, and so basically water quality, source water, and then I put the page numbers for let's see, where is it? For the riparian areas, corridors, and buffers from the watershed restoration plan, 119 to 121. And then it looks like what to submit is the assessment and revegetation project in order to get credit, if I'm reading it correctly.
Yes.
Do we also get credit for regulations in our code about riparian zones?
I'm not sure we have anything specifically for that.
I'm wondering, all I know is that we have setbacks,
All we have are setbacks, yes.
but it doesn't say anything about vegetation
No.
or removal thereof.
So our comp plan had, let's see, on page 27, under the natural resources goal, had 7 components that could fit under that. And then where was it? It doesn't specifically say the corridors, but a lot in our code is directly related to it. So I just threw down everything in our code that was related to water.
That would become the
The tree
documentation.
conservation, maybe.
Yeah, and that would become the documentation if you could just put that in a Word document with
It is.
clarifications or put it, yeah, and so that would become the document you submit, and the short description would describe how the document covers
Okay.
it clarify or mentions segments of our codification and our comprehensive plan that could be interpreted as supporting this pledge element.
So page 6,
So
code. Page 7, I put the resolutions, but that apply to all the areas under this particular sub-action.
could I
Buffer water quality.
backpedal a second here?
Yeah.
So the documentation submission requirements is submitting a new or revised riparian assessment document. So that's specifically looking at priority locations for conservation and revegetation. That would be a whole project. And I think, does the Village of Lansing have a conservation advisory council or
No.
committee?
We
Greenway
used to.
Committee.
Okay.
We used to, for about, I don't know, maybe about between 5 and 10 years or 5 and 8 years. And then I think it went away.
Okay.
And I think I was on the board at the time that it was sort of voted to end it.
Right, because this action involves taking on some sort of analysis of maps and data to identify specific locations for riparian buffers,
Yeah.
which unfortunately referring to a code would not
Okay.
get
That
you
wouldn't help.
documentation
Yeah.
points for this.
And
Yeah.
Okay.
the natural resource inventory that was done in 2023, it's got maps and stuff. Let's see.
Right, and I don't believe that we identified any riparian buffers for future projects and that just because it wasn't a priority
Yeah.
at the time. Yeah.
Okay.
This is so interesting because we're talking about this as part of climate smart, climate awareness, climate readiness. And the riparian buffer issue is very much a part of all the water quality efforts around the lake for harmful algal blooms, for erosion issues, for silt, for phosphorus, the TMDL. There's just so much that's related to riparian zones, because now that we have the TMDL, it's pushing the phosphorus concerns up all the tributaries instead of the lake itself, because the point source phosphorus issues are basically taken care of with the wastewater treatment plants who do now phosphorus stripping. So it means that phosphorus is coming now from our tributaries into the lake through the tributary system, through all the riparian zones, whether it's man-made phosphorus, in other words, man-produced phosphorus, or whether it's natural background phosphorus that the glaciers left behind. So it almost doesn't have anything to do with climate resilience as much as it has to do with trying to manage phosphorus in the lake. It's all connected.
It is
Yeah.
all connected, yeah.
It's all totally connected, but it's just.
There is the hydrology map that has the streams, wetlands, and watershed.
Is that in our natural areas?
Yeah.
Inventory?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's good.
Page
Right, but that's
15.
not enough
That's not enough,
information to
yeah.
identify exactly where you would want these to be. And the point, also the point of riparian buffers as a part of like a resilience strategy is that during
Flood.
if there's flooding or anything,
Yeah.
the vegetation can actually absorb some of the impacts of flooding.
Right, right. And it filters it and it's
Yeah,
temperature
hugely
regulation.
Mhm.
So it's a lot of things.
Yeah.
So would
Resistant.
would stormwater management of retention ponds with vegetation not be part of that?
That might be a separate action, and I believe there's one for is that green infrastructure, maybe? No.
But that's totally related, Ronnie.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
mean,
it is.
that's a way of keeping water on the land and not rushing downhill and flooding and
Mhm.
tearing up our hillsides on the way to the lake.
I mean, all of these are so interconnected.
They are.
Mhm.
They are.
Yeah, so green infrastructure is another action. That one's specifically, like green walls, green roofs, rainwater harvesting, and bioretention systems,
Yeah.
as well as like permeable pavement. That's a big one.
Rain gardens.
Yeah.
Does the village have
Vegetation.
anything like that in the
Yes.
currently? Okay.
Did you say it was greenway infrastructure?
Green infrastructure.
Green
Oh,
infrastructure.
green
So we don't
infrastructure.
have any green roofs in the village, I don't think, not that I know of.
No.
But we do have a lot of retention basins that are vegetated.
Yes.
And
I think we were getting ready to take one and actually
fix it up.
clean it out. It's over vegetated, so we're trying to take some of it out to allow the water to come in and leave a little more efficiently. Okay.
Yeah, that's PE7 as well, if you needed the number for that.
Let me make sure it's not already here. No, I don't
Yep.
see it.
Okay.
So we can check that. I'll make a note of this one, highlight it. Okay, I'll make a note here.
So
Going on to the conserved natural areas, Lynn. And I know that those are identified in our Greenway plan, specifically the Poison Ivy Point. And wondered if that one would be identified with the appendix that's within our Greenway plan,
Right.
as because I think is that our only, well, I think we might have, I think that's the only unique
Yeah.
natural area that we
It is.
have within the village.
Well, it's not a UNA in itself.
Okay.
It's a natural area that
Okay.
we have decided, or, there seems to be consensus to leave it alone and let it be natural. The unique natural areas are
It's
the county
different. Okay.
designation, and they are right above it along
Right.
the lake bluffs and might even include Bolton Point. But I just checked the map. I just looked at the unique natural area report that it it was just recently updated.
Mhm.
And they've done some revisions to the borders and designation of some of these UNAs, but none that I could tell in the village. It looks to me like they're all up the lake in Lansing, at the Bell Station and places like that they've updated some of these, changed some of their perimeters now that they have better geospatial surveying ability. It used to be that we just drew the edges around things with a magic marker and then that became the map, but they don't do it that way now.
Okay.
But I looked at our UNAs and they're still the lake bluffs. And they still go up the stream a little ways up Burdick Hill Road. But that's pretty much it for the UNAs in the village. There may be some out east of the airport that are in the village. I'm not sure how far the village line goes, but it's over there behind the airport.
Okay.
All those swampy woods. But again, I mean, the UNAs don't imply any kind of land use restrictions. They simply are a designation. They do not they don't provide any kind of protection. That's up to the local municipality in which they occur. And so we do have some controls over what happens on the steep slopes through our code. No building on more than 25% grade, or is it less than that? I can't remember. And where that really comes into play is up in the Bolton Point estates. There are very steep sections to a lot of those lots, and they can't build on those sections.
Right.
That's the only thing I can think of that basically protects parts of our UNAs.
Okay. But as far as the just conserve natural areas, could we show that we, at least with the poison ivy point documentation, that we've decided not to develop that or
now
use it?
The next line says no UNAs in
no, that's just a comment from that we had something to check with the county to see if there
that's
are
not
any.
true. Yeah, we do have UNAs in the village.
We have like quite a few.
It's pretty extensive along the lake coast.
We've also got the code, the conservation combining districts that provide protection.
Yeah, right.
Chapter
that would be the
45, 48.
That would be the steep slopes probably.
I have a quick question. So we're still on conserved natural areas, right?
Yes.
Did the village of Lansing partake in anything when the town of Lansing was creating their open space plan?
No.
Because I know the village and the town are two separate municipalities, but
Yes.
the town actually encompasses the village as well.
Yes, it does.
Yeah. No, I don't think we did we?
No, not as far as I know.
Yeah.
Because they completed an open space plan this past year, and it does include the village as well. I'm not sure. It could be that we ask for permission to have it as part of our documentation from the town itself that did the work. But they have a very detailed open space plan that you guys might want to consider looking through, to see if it's applicable to you.
Yeah.
I had an old one.
Yeah, and I'll copy the URL and put it in the chat again for this one.
Okay. There was the 2004 one the village had that was done by the
Trowbridge and
Wolf. Yeah.
That had our view sheds.
But that was never updated, was it?
No, I don't think we ever went back to them and had it updated. I'm sure still the view sheds along North Triphammar still apply.
Yeah.
I wonder if I'm looking over their maps right now. They might have just not done the village, which would make sense because.
Well, they never talked to us as far as I know, but then I shouldn't be the one speaking about this because I'm not on the board anymore. I'm not aware that there was conversation between the village and the town when they were doing open space. Are you, Ronnie?
No, not the open space.
They were just doing their own.
They hired Collier's Engineering to do it.
Yeah, I don't know who they are. I don't know them. And they don't have jurisdiction over the village at all. So even though, we pay taxes to the town, they don't have anything to do with our land use.
Yes, but this is I guess you're right, yeah.
I mean, it would be a
You need,
stretch. It would be interesting to see the report to see if they include any land within the town as part of their open space, but it doesn't, if they have, they're planning for what happens to their open areas, it doesn't include village land.
Yeah, I have to double check this report because
Okay.
I'm scrolling through it right now, but I haven't had time to really digest this.
Okay.
so we can also uh, look at that plan and see if there is any mention of the
Right.
village, because they did send out a survey that did include people in the village.
I never saw that, but is that a random survey, Kathleen, or was that
No, there was a
village?
community survey sent out as part of this, and I saw that on the document that I'm looking at.
Uh,
I don't remember seeing any mention of the survey.
nor do I.
No worries. We can I suggest us table this because I can look at the actual
Yeah.
report and see if it's
Let's
possible for
find
the
out
Yeah,
what's in it.
that would be good.
yeah, because this just sparked my memory on this.
Well, I mean, if that actually triggered some joint meetings between like our Greenway committee and town officials, I'm not aware that we had a joint conversation about their open space plan.
No,
We're talking about trails,
yeah,
but not open
we are
space.
talking trails, but not anything
Yes.
else.
Well, it would be really interesting to see it.
Mhm.
And it, just this is just an editorial comment. When I first started working with the village 1.5 years ago, the idea of the town of Lansing looking at open space was anathema. It was not something on open space is agricultural land, and by God, you are not touching it,
That's right.
And the rest of it, you just couldn't talk to them about trails or open space. It's changed a lot in the last few decades.
Right. Especially with the change in the leadership within the
Change
town.
in leadership, change in population. It's
Mhm.
not all agrarian anymore.
Yeah. Those kind of work hand
They
in
kind of
hand.
go together there. Anyway,
Well,
it's good. It's great that they've done it. I think it's wonderful.
yeah, it's also interesting because an open space plan can actually protect agricultural land. So that's
Oh yeah, absolutely.
yeah, so
Yeah.
it's a misinformation, a lot of
Mhm.
misinformation out there about how people feel like they're,
Right. And ag land is
regulations.
already in ag districts. So they
Yeah,
already
so
have
already
state
protected.
protection for their land.
Yeah.
There's things you can't do to ag land if it's already designated as such. So
Mhm.
we don't have any in the village.
All right, I'm going to move on to the next one, watershed-based flood mitigation plan. Kathleen, you were going to check into that?
The watershed, let's see.
78.
We needed the plan, and that's from the Cuba Lake Watershed Intermunicipal Organization 2017 plan. And that was the strategy that we could reference would be the recent Water Resource Council document. So in the watershed plan, the 2017, the water quality component of it's, I would say, pages 25 to 44. And then they talked about education component, 57 to 61, and the actual actions, recommendations, and prioritizations, 43 to 44.
Does that deal with flood mitigation?
So let's see, where am I? Watershed. Yeah, that's in there too.
So,
But I saw that was split into two separate components, right?
so we have the village has a flood damage prevention law, which
Right.
might be all we need for this documentation. We don't have to go to an outside organization necessarily. We would just need to provide a short write-up and submit the prevention law, the PDF that's mentioned in this link.
Oh, the chapter 78.
Yeah.
You're right. But they want to see the plan document.
And that's,
That would be Clio. That would be the watershed document.
oh, for the plan part of it, not
Yeah,
for
for the
just
plan
the
part of it.
codification. Oh, I see, I see.
And then
Refer
they
to
want,
that plan. Okay. Okay.
yeah. And then they want substantial investment and involvement documented. So what does that mean, Jerry?
Yeah,
I'm sorry, one more time?
Oh, what to submit? We have to submit the plan itself.
Yeah, so
Mm.
it has to be a copy or web link to the watershed-based flood mitigation plan. And it has to demonstrate like considerations for current and future conditions of like hydraulic. There's let me double check this link that was put into the
And
uh
then substantial investment and involvement if you're part of, a large coalition like that. If it's part of a large watershed plan, what did they mean by substantial investment and involvement?
yeah.
Does it mean just attendance at board meetings and events?
Do we have a representative
yes.
to Clio?
Yeah, Susan Ainsley.
Susan
Oh,
Ainsley,
Susan.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we've had a representative since you joined.
Yeah, always.
So it's years.
And that includes any financial support that they've requested from us.
Yeah, we paid dues for all those years.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
even when other people were not.
Yeah, we
So
were
being,
subsidizing.
so I was wondering if being on the board plus paying dues is sufficient for demonstrating substantial investment and involvement.
Is this for the watershed-based flood
Yeah.
mitigation plan? Because I don't in the
Well, I don't know. It's just,
Uh,
this is a watershed-wide a intermunicipal organization.
But
yeah, are we
Kathleen
confused?
So,
mentioned a specific plan as a document.
right, that's the watershed plan.
And you're saying, Kathleen, that the network has this watershed plan?
Yeah, that's the one Isaac sent.
Oh, okay. I have not looked at any of that stuff. I haven't been paying attention
So,
since I don't go to those meetings anymore.
oh, it's pretty extensive. It's
Yeah.
like 100, oh my gosh, 184 pages.
Wow.
So, and then the strategy grew out of water quality strategy that Tompkins County the Resource Council rather.
Water Resources.
together.
Yep.
Yeah, grew out of that.
I guess what we would need from that document are references to the flood mitigation parts
Is
of
it
it.
just flood mitigation?
Yeah.
Yes, this is specific to the flood mitigation plan. Are you getting this confused with the hazard mitigation plan, which is different?
Uh,
Because I'm not seeing anywhere in the required submission for the watershed mitigation sorry, flood mitigation plan that there has to be substantial involvement or investment of some sort.
Oh, well, I've got the December. Let's see, is the most recent PE action sheet the December 2024 one? Or was it updated again?
It was updated and finalized this in pretty much January. It was towards the end of the month for December.
Because, all right. I might be on the water quality one, I'm sorry.
Oh, no, you're fine. I was just I was just a little bit confused there.
Well, it is confusing
Yeah.
because there's flood mitigation and then the hazard based on all the new maps.
Oh, I think you were looking for the watershed for water quality action, which does,
I was looking at water quality. I
yep,
apologize.
Okay,
no worries.
all right. So let's see, need a flood mitigation plan.
So the water source protection plan,
Hmm.
that could, well, it's the water quality strategy 2025 to 27. I think that would work.
For the source protection.
Yeah.
Yeah, it should.
So what's the title of that document again? Watershed Source Protection Plan?
It's the Tompkins County Water Quality Strategy,
It would be a subset of that,
right? The one 2025 to
the
20.
27.
They update it every 3 years.
We just updated it and just passed it in December.
Okay. So do we have a link to that document?
Yeah.
Can you
Yep.
copy and paste that as a,
I copied and pasted it on the first page
of what,
of
first page of
the
what?
Word doc I sent you. So I listed, so it's number 2. Oh, no, I didn't.
You meant to.
I meant to. I put Lynn's email attachment. I didn't include it. I'm so sorry.
Oh, because I sent it to both of you, right? I
You
sent you
did.
the link because just to let you know that we'd passed it, that it was available to be posted now on our website.
Okay.
I can put that in the chat if I can
Yeah,
find it.
if
Yeah,
you do
could
that,
you?
it becomes part of our meeting notes.
Yeah, let me
Also.
find it in the chat.
And can you just
Let's see.
email it to us again?
Uh-huh,
I'm so sorry.
not a problem.
I
Just now I had to find.
didn't look at this. I sort of threw stuff down as I went through.
Let's see.
Wow. How many other mistakes have I made here? I started to cut and paste. And
Okay, Lynn, when you get that link, just put it in the chat and it
I'm
will
trying to
become,
find it.
that's
Yeah.
fine, that's fine. And
Yeah.
because we can go on while you're looking.
Mhm.
The next one action was mine culverts and dams. I created a list of the culverts that we either installed or replaced, and I have submitted those to CSC. And just with a short description, the documentation is just a Word document showing which culverts where they were either a new culvert or replacing a culvert to increase the stormwater flow through the village to the Cayuga Lake. So that's been done. Well, I think we had 3 specifically that were, hang on a second, I'm gonna double check that.
Okay, the link is in the chat.
Okay. I'm gonna double check, and make sure I've got the right number.
Sure that works.
That was in,
Yes, it works. Okay.
yeah, the document is my 2024. Seven culverts documentation. Yeah, we had three. 2024 culvert installed in the retention pond in Lansing Trails 2 on our pedestrian walkway to improve stormwater flow. 2022 culvert was changed on Leafs Way due to culvert's collapse. And 2021, we did a culvert replacement on Graham Road with a larger culvert to improve stormwater flow. And then along with that, I sent our code, our Village of Lansing code that deals with culverts and stormwater management. So there should be sufficient documentation to get our points on that. So that's all done. This other one, I could not find any documentation on it. And I'm not sure, it was just a word of mouth. Oh, I think we did one over in Cedar Lane, but I'm not sure when it was. And
Oh, that was me.
Okay, so I couldn't find documentation
Well,
anywhere.
the pipe itself, it was small and it got larger.
Right.
Are you talking about culvert replacement?
Mm-hmm.
There's one on Oakcrest. Went in the fall.
Oh,
I think they upsized it.
Oh, no, Chris.
Yeah.
I'll submit these three, and if it's not enough,
Yeah,
then we
and
can go
right
back
below
and get.
Larry Beery's house, just to the west.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
And when that
was part of
happened-
the Oakcrest road work.
Right, and
Yeah, I forgot about that.
it was alarming because all of a sudden my creek, that's the creek, suddenly just turned chocolate brown.
ooh.
And I got in the car and I started looking and I found, Oakcrest was shut off and all this heavy equipment up there. And I realized that they had torn out the culvert and they had to be in the stream to fix it.
Right.
So it all went away, but it was a lot of silt for a little while. It's inevitable. You can't stop it.
Yes. Yeah, it flows where if the water goes, it goes with it.
Well, as they say in Colorado, silt happens.
Okay.
Lynn,
Yeah.
this is the 2022, 2024.
Oh, it is?
Right,
Oops.
but there should be a 2025.
Well, I thought that's the one that I sent you, and it's not. That says it was it says for me, it says the 25-27 is now
There's a
posted. Oh, it's on the
2020
web page.
Yeah, 2025, 2027.
All right. Did you just go there or are you?
Well, I printed it.
All right.
And when I printed it, it doesn't have
the dates are
the URL or whatever that thing is.
Okay, wait a minute. Let me just 25-27. Okay, I'm looking at it right now. So let's see. Let me just copy this. Copy the link. Let me try it again. See if I get this right. Okay, I'm going to put it in the chat. So just delete the old one. It says 25-27. That's just weird.
Yeah, 2025, 2027.
It's the same thing.
December 16, 2024 is when it was adopted.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't understand why the other one didn't take you to the most recent. They both say exactly the same thing.
Oh, they may have just.
Yeah, well, the link is taking you to a document. If they just replaced the document with within the URL, then
I think that do is just to go to the website because they're all listed there.
Yeah,
all the previous ones.
Okay. So, but it worked from the chat, so that's good. It will become a part of our minutes now.
Okay.
I don't know how to.
I'm going to see if it takes you to the right one. That says 25-27, the one I just gave you.
Yes.
So that is that's the most recent one. I don't know why the other one gave you the wrong date.
Sometimes your browser stores the a previous version and it pulls it up first. You have to do a shift refresh and it will cause it to build the page new.
Okay. I think we've got the right one now.
It catches me off guard every once in a while.
It's not what I intended. Think like a computer.
Okay, we're running out of time here. We're going to try
right.
to end at 6:30. So the watershed plan for quality, Lynn, that's what you're giving to us now,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
So we
Mhm.
would need to find a way to see if that would be the correct documentation
Oh,
that
okay.
to submit to the CSC documentation system. So just if it's the correct document, we would just need to upload a copy of it and then just
Okay.
in the short description explain that this is our water quality
And
strategy document.
are you asking me to find out if that's what we need?
Well, just look through the PE7 description on what documentation is needed for the watershed
Oh,
plan
okay.
for water quality. See if this document would meet that need, and just say that as part of. Well, I don't know. Again, Jerry, are they going to let us use an overarching documents
Yeah.
water quality plan as our plan? Or are we going to have to write a whole new plan that just says what the Tompkins County plan says?
No, you shouldn't have to if it's part of if the village is a part of the plan
Watershed.
itself. Yeah.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
are.
yeah. So
Yeah.
this should work. And
Yeah.
you would just need to provide just a brief, very short description on that we participated in or we rely on the Tompkins County watershed plan for water quality, or this county water quality strategies document as our watershed plan for water quality, and then upload it.
Okay, so I just need to go to the website then?
Yeah, not not now, but
Yeah.
down the road. And if you need help, then like Jerry said, you can contact him
Okay.
or send it to him, and he can do that. Just to help him if he's going to upload it. Also, just provide a short
A
description.
short description, right.
Yes,
All right.
that he
I
could
can
just
do that.
cut and paste into the field if you can't get to it.
I may do that, Jerry, I'm gonna do an end run. I'll send it to you.
Yeah, of course. And I'm expecting to get a bunch of emails from you guys probably within the next few months as we're working through this. So no worries.
Okay,
It's no bother. I get paid to do this, so
okay, okay. And you have a direct pipeline in and it's
yeah.
one more bloody password that I'd have to do.
No worries. I can definitely just do it. Just give me the
Okay,
action name and then
I'll write
yeah.
a brief description and send it along.
Okay. And the next two documents, pledge elements, I'm sorry, Kathleen.
So I just
Similar
used
process, yeah.
I just used the plan again. That's the watershed plan, that big one that we're a part of.
Yes.
Can you? And and I put pages.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah,
and,
and in your description, or at
and
times, if I have a lot of pages, since they want a short description, I make a Word document that lists the pages within the uploaded plan that say these pages refer to this pledge element within this plan that we're providing you. And that way they've got a document that they can lay down on a table and then cross-reference in the document to make sure that it meets the need.
okay. And then I don't know if the new maximum daily load, total maximum daily load, the new clean water plan, that would also, we could also include that maybe.
Yeah, it's
And
possible. You can upload more than one document if you have more than one.
and that was the DEC. And the DEC came down and with Clio and with the Watershed Network explained that plan. And they're having another event. So all of those would count?
Well,
They're public meetings.
as I don't know if I don't know if they would
As
be required.
education?
Yeah, it's possible. You could refer to those, I guess.
Okay.
It's just to let people know that these exist. But more it's that we have something that we rely on within for the village through the county and or state, but typically the county as a plan to protect source water and for conserving water and reusing water. So I don't know if I don't know if the educational component is important for these two pledge element documentations.
Well, it says to
It can't hurt.
Right. It says to submit the plan, so that's the plan, but then it says to implement 2 or more strategies from the plan. And I guess that's my question. Would that outreach education count?
I don't, if they are described in the plan to educate
Yeah,
populace of the components of the plan and the directions of the plan, possibly.
yeah, the total maximum daily load that takes into account the phosphorus dissolved and undissolved and also the chlorophyll.
Right, but those are just that's just telling you what your maximum daily load is. It's not how do you
Yeah, how
not
do you
exceed
reduce it?
that?
But it's
How do you measure
component.
it? How do you make sure that you don't exceed it? That's part of the water. That would be water protection, not the final number that is the goal of the state or that they require. So it could be that the watershed protection plan, the Cayuga Lake watershed, the CLWRPP document that you have listed here as a link, if it got water protection plans in it, steps, that if we can determine if any of those steps have been, since 2017 apparently, have been implemented, then we could provide that too. I don't
So
know.
we could use their stuff. It doesn't have to be by the village alone.
I don't think so in this case,
Okay.
because we're talking about source water. In this case, it would be the lake, and
Okay.
that's part of the watershed too. So
Right. Okay. Good.
It's been a while since the village, I think, has been involved in taking advantage of these water quality investment programs, the WQIP funding opportunities. It's been a really long time since I've been involved in any of that. We had a lot of those come through the years that I was on the Stormwater Coalition.
early on.
Yeah. And they had to do with things like, we built the rain garden at the village office, at the old office. That was a WQIP grant that went through Sharon Anderson, the cooperative extension. But there were a lot of things like that. I mean, that was the one thing we did in the village. The other thing we did was we labeled all our storm drains with little plaques that said drains to the lake.
Yeah, I've seen those.
Yeah, a lot of them are gone. They get chipped off by the snow plows and stuff. They're gone. I mean, those were really great projects, but we haven't taken advantage of any of those WQIP opportunities. And we did it all through Angel Heinekel at Soil and Water. She was sort of the lead person. She has been the lead person on stormwater stuff all along. So, I mean, I don't know if there have been any WQIP projects that involve the village since 2017. I have no idea.
They don't sound familiar to me since I've been on the board.
Yeah, I don't think we've done anything. I think they've been other, I think the town of Ithaca might have done some porous pavement up on Warren Road. That might have been a reimbursement. I'm not sure. Jerry, are you aware of WQIP projects within the recent years that, that I don't know. I should probably just ask Angel, what they've been. They may have gone away. I don't know. I should ask John Negley.
Yeah, not off the top of my head. I know I've been in contact with Roxanne last year, but I haven't been updated since, so it's been a while.
There was a lot of money for a while, but I just think there hasn't been a whole lot, or it's taken different forms with different kind of grant opportunities, maybe not the water quality improvement projects.
So would some of the village projects count toward your water protection, like the water system improvement, the sewer expansion, the lead pipe replacement?
That's a good question.
It depends on what the source water protection document says.
Hmm. Yeah,
What it would consider. I mean,
If
if
that-
we're saying that this plan is what we're following and these are the things we've done that support these components within that plan, yes. I think that overall, yes, they do. But as far as it's supporting as backup documentation of the plan, I don't know if it would do. I don't know if they would do that. Having not read that complete plan, I just don't know. So that's some work that we kind of need to do on from this point on, is with those kinds of things. Look at the plan. Are there any
Yeah.
is there anything that the village has done within the last few years that would
That
have
fits.
supported steps within that plan?
Yeah. So Ronnie, quickly, I'm seeing that the link for the water quality strategy says 22-24. It's the wrong one.
This one up here?
Yeah, the final. That's the old one.
Yeah, okay.
So it might
So
be
I need to use
is
that new one, don't
the
I?
new one. It would be the most recent one in the chat. I don't know
Yeah.
why they both say exactly the same thing, but you got the. Oh,
Well,
Okay,
the other one does say 2025, 27.
they both do. That's the crazy thing. If you
Well-
look at the two things I put in the chat, they both say 25-27 final.
Okay.
It's
Yeah, when
nuts.
you copy the link, yeah, this one says, yeah.
There it
this
is.
New link.
That's the right one.
Okay,
There you go.
let me
Oh.
make sure that becomes a link.
All right.
Yeah, so there it is. Thank you, Lynn.
Yeah. Do we have the descriptions of what's required for all of these steps among our own documents, or do I have to go on the website?
The website is the best place because
Okay.
it's the most current document, and Jerry can kind of show you how to look at that description,
Mhm.
the documentation requirements.
Okay.
It's within that same site. If you click on the title of the pledge element, it will pull up a new small window, pop-up window with
With
the
all the-
documentation requirements.
Okay.
And you can
Yeah,
copy.
I can give instructions on that over email as well.
Okay.
Or even just like I think I could just record a short like Zoom video of me doing it, so I can do that for you if you want.
Okay, that'd be great. Why don't you do that and just send it to me as an email link or something? And
Yeah, I can do that.
okay, that'd be fine, Jerry. Thanks.
No problem.
I mean, I might as
Okay.
well learn how to navigate the darn thing, but
Once you
just avoiding
once you
it.
do one, it's pretty straighthtforward.
Yeah.
The
Yeah, I
thing
would
that
say
to
Can't be
remember,
that
the
hard.
thing I found hard to do is to remember my login
Well,
credentials.
see, that's, I know, it's just yet another login that you have to record somewhere and not forget. Pages of them, pages of them.
Once I'm back on the page, I figure I can get back in and do it pretty
Uh-huh.
fast. But effort,
Uh-huh.
it doesn't do any good if you can't log in.
I know.
Okay, I am going to say that we're adjourned for this evening. We've got some
It's
work
like
to
we
do.
slogged through a bunch.
Yeah, we slogged through a bunch and updated. So Jerry, thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks,
sure.
Jerry.
Thanks for the help. And
Thanks,
I know
Kathy.
that you're going to be forthcoming with even more help. So
Yeah.
You poor guy.
I see that there are 5 of us and one of them is your note taker.
yeah, I use that because
That is great.
the Fathom note taker for Zoom does an excellent job of providing a
great.
summary of our meeting.
Does it do it as a voice thing?
It's an AI transcription.
Wow.
It's
I bet you
almost
find some
like
funny things in there though.
the
pretty
summaries
good.
are actually really good.
They're getting better.
I found, yeah, this one's one of the best ones I've seen.
Huh?
So
Interesting.
it's very handy. And
Who
it's
knew?
actually, I upgraded to the Pro version, which actually gives us action items.
Wow.
So
You've got an
sometimes
A-list.
those are a little, are not quite so accurate, but they do help. So
I'm impressed.
anyway, I'm going to consider us adjourned at
Okay.
6:30
You-
p.m. tonight.
And I'll
Alright.
get that stuff to you, Jerry, about well, I'll wait for your Zoom and then I'll do a little exploration of my own and find out what I need to know.
Okay.
Yeah, I could probably have that done early
Don't
next
rush.
week, if not sooner. So
No, don't rush. Don't rush. We've got a month. I'll try
Okay.
and get to that. Thanks a
Thank
lot.
you.
thank you so much.
Good night, everyone.
Thanks.
Good night,
Good
everybody.
night.